Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Bad Psychics podcast. Today we are discussing the new season of Celebrity Big Brother UK, which I believe, if I get this out when it's supposed to go out, you will be seeing the first episode tomorrow. We are going to discuss 12 people that we think are going to be in the house and try and make some predictions for who we think will do well, who won't, and some other miscellaneous stuff. As always, I'm joined by a couple of idiots. This time I'll introduce the idiot on the right first. As you've seen her before, I predict she is most likely to cash in on her success by releasing a number 27 single in the UK charts. It's Eloise, who's looking very confused, and I think at some point that joke will land.
That was a reference that I don't know if I get.
I have a feeling.
Oh.
Have you just caught up?
Yeah, I think I might know.
Well, will you check whether you know?
Yes, I will.
First time that you'll be seeing him, and I guarantee, well, my prediction is that there will be lots of people going, "Who is he? Who is he? Where did you find him?" It's Dizzy.
Hello.
Welcome to both of you. Dizzy, first time on. Are you excited to be here? Oh, we have a cat. We can't.
Already.
The way your camera is cropped, can't see too much of cat. But I believe that is Chloe Cat.
Yes. Yes, that was Chloe.
I just saw Fluff. I love that she's left you alone for a while, and then the second we start, she appears. Perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
And
just the normal.
Yes. Eloise, are you well?
Yes.
Are you speaking to us from, another country? Is there going to be a delay today?
I'll make a delay on purpose. Yes.
Did you work out the joke, by the way? Or are you still...
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought I knew it and I didn't, so if it's a reference to something that I'll see later, then...
Well, I'll link you if you haven't worked it out by the end of the episode. I have a feeling Dizzy has, because Dizzy's giggling to himself. Anyway, so yes...
Is this bothering me more than you? Alright, continue. I'm just gonna try to think in my head.
Okay. If it helps, 2004.
Huh? Alright.
This has completely waylaid the show already. I love it.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to move to our other spreadsheet in a whole screen, and then we're going to start by looking through our list of 12 people that we all believe are going to be on the show. Time to find out how much they match. Okay. Interesting. I'd say they mostly seem to match. I'm trying to work out if Dizzy's and Eloise's match entirely. They don't. No. There's a couple of differences. One difference. Mine is definitely a little bit different because there were a couple of logic streams that I was determined to find.
Sorry, I was reading. I was trying to see who was different. Now I see who's different.
Yes. I mean, let's quickly go through the ones that we all agree on. I don't think, I'll just go to one person for each of them. We all seem to be agreed on Jack P. Shepherd. Dizzy as our resident soap head. Is that pretty much guaranteed for you?
Considering it was rumoured early on, yeah.
Okay, fair.
I think, yeah.
We've all gone for Angelica Bell, although Eloise has misspelt her name.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Aside from the misspelling, you confident on that one, Eloise?
Yeah, that one seems to be pretty nailed on as well. She's in most of like the rooms and stuff, so yeah, that seems pretty nailed on.
Okay. I mean, I think we've all looked at some of the same rumours, and yet equally, I feel like last year there were a couple that were very, like, off the beaten path, and we all went, huh? I can't remember.
See, I didn't see any rumours last year, so I don't know how different it was and how different these will be. And it's a bit hard to go left field because that feels almost like a just complete miss. So it's
no, I don't disagree with that. We all have Danny Beard. Genuine thing with Danny Beard is I'm not sure whether Danny Beard will be going in as Danny Beard or will be going in as whatever the person behind its real name is, because I'd have thought it would be a lot of effort to like drag Queen up every single day. I could be wrong, but like it as someone who is not an expert, it strikes me as a lot of work to do that every day. And I'm pretty sure...
It's a full-time job.
Yes. I'm pretty sure they've appeared on Late and Live without the garb. Am I imagining that? Dizzy's nodding. I trust Dizzy's bizarrely photographic memory for these things. Next, we've all got Chris Hughes. Eloise, are we? Are you like deeply happy that there's another ex-Love Island contestant on?
Absolutely thrilled. Love Island's amazing, and I'm so happy that all these reality TV shows are full of just Love Island people. It's so amazing.
And it was so brilliant last year with Ekin-Su.
Oh no. Ekin-Su was on everything as well. I think she was on American Traitors. Like I didn't watch it, I just saw her on. I was like, what?
She was. To be fair, it was one of her better appearances on something.
Saying something.
She almost came across as likable, oblivious but likable. We are all agreed on Daley Thompson. Dizzy, I seem to recall that when I first mentioned the name Daley Thompson, you said who. So have you done a bit of research since? No?
No.
Okay, so...
I looked at rumours. It came up in all of them. And then I nearly forgot to put his name in the list. So...
Good. Excellent.
Decathlon man.
Yes.
Won gold at multiple Olympics in the 80s.
Yes.
And broke world records in decathlon.
Yes.
Before my time.
Now like 60. So
Yes.
but yes.
At one point, arguably one of the most famous men in the UK, but now just older.
Who?
Yeah. So to go with your love of Love Island, Eloise, I'm assuming big Towie fan as well. Ella Ray Wise, any comment on her?
No.
I had no clue who she was.
No, me neither.
No, it's just she just seems to.
It just seems
seems
like
to,
she's
seems
been
to fit the attractive quota, I suppose.
and it makes sense for a Towie star to go in, and she's the one rumoured.
Yes. Fair.
So
We've all got Ella Morgan. I'm going to venture that I'm probably the only one who watched Married at First Sight when Ella was on it.
I saw bits and pieces of that season because my mum watched it. So
Okay.
yes, I've seen. I'm aware of who she is. I'm aware of everything. Well, sort of everything. I've seen bits and stuff. So yes.
Yes.
It makes sense, I suppose.
I'm very interested to see how that goes because
I'm not.
I put it this way. I have made another prediction later on that indicates how I suspect that will go, but we'll see. All agreed on Patsy Palmer. Again, Dizzy, you're the soap addict. Are you happy to see Bianca there?
the problem is it's not Bianca, but I do think it's a bit of a coup to get Patsy Palmer on when you consider she's got such a restricted schedule.
Yeah,
living in the US.
indeed.
If she is indeed in there, they've got a good one.
Yes, I hope so. Next we've got Chesney Hawkes. Now, this was a name that I wasn't seeing on any of the rumours when I'd been checking for like the last month, and then about 3 days ago, all of them started saying that Chesney Hawkes is going in. Does that make it more likely, Eloise, or does that make it like more of a chance that it's just the tabloids having some fun?
It'd be a bit weird if it was like coordinated. They're having fun. It seems that they've been tipped off by something that probably is legitimate. I don't know. Is it a coup to get Chesney Hawkes? I had not heard of him before I saw the rumors, and I still don't really know who that is. But I think I said to my mum that he might be on, and she's like, "Oh, he's still going around." So I had no clue who he is, but apparently he's notable enough.
Yeah, I mean he's a one-hit wonder really, but it was a very big one hit. So
that tends to be how it goes with one-hit wonders.
yeah.
It's one very big hit.
And then I think so. This is kind of going as a sidetrack. Did any of you remember a show? I think it was called "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," but it might have been a play on it, and it was basically like retro artists, and they got them back to do the song they were most famous for and a modern cover, and there were like 6 episodes and then a grand final, and the one that won the grand final got their single re-released. And I can't remember if Chesney Hawkes won the British one or the American one, but I'm pretty sure he won one of them. If he didn't, he did well.
He got to the final in. I'm looking at the. This will be the. Is this the British one? This is the British one. Yeah, he got to the final in that. Shakin' Stevens won that grand final.
Oh, I don't remember that.
But,
Okay.
But yeah, there's this is certainly a thing that existed.
Yes.
Oh wait, the US version.
Did he win the US one? Was he on the US one? There were a few people who
No,
did
he
both.
he was on the British one and got to the final.
Okay, maybe I just remember him winning his episode then. Maybe that's what
Yeah,
I'm
he
thinking.
did. He
Okay.
won his episode.
Fair enough. Right. At this point, we get into people who are not on every list, at the very least. Only myself and Eloise have gone for Paul Chuckle. Eloise, are you confident that you will be seeing the remaining Chuckle brother?
Nope. That was very much a late kind of push in, because I wasn't happy about putting because there's a few rumored people who are there just because divorces and stuff, and I didn't want to put them in, or like dodgy, all this could be good. I know. I just rather would put Paul Chuckle and be wrong.
That's very
yes.
fair. Very fair. Meanwhile, Dizzy and Eloise have both gone for Michael Fabricant. I decided not to because I think people are fed up with politicians, but Dizzy, you've decided he's going in anyway. Any particular reason?
To send a politician in so that they've got an easy person to go out early.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's worked so well with I'm a Celebrity.
It works better with Big Brother.
Yeah, possibly. Then you two also have gone for Tommy Fury. Eloise, you were clearly desperate for another Love Islander to go in.
See, this one's a little bit different because he's also Boxer Man, but I seem to see him in almost all the rumors. So I was like, yeah, put him in. That makes sense. Once again, he can be someone who's kind of antagonistic and maybe go out early or go far. I don't know, but yeah, it's probably going to happen. Which,
See, the reason I didn't put him in is because I feel like even for ITV, they're gonna surely get accused of dumbing down if they put two separate Love Island people in. And I feel like Chris Hughes has been mentioned like forever. So I'm sort of kind of going,
yeah.
I think if they do keep it to one, I think he's more likely. I think there is a chance that you guys are right and it's both of them. I will just be very unimpressed.
Surely Tommy Fury's better TV though.
Probably more expensive though.
But probably better TV, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's probably more interesting because he's an idiot and an asshole. So
fair. Yeah, I don't know. Right. Dizzy, you are the only person that has gone for Becky Jones. Any particular reason?
I hadn't heard of her, but a friend had brought her up that she's a TikToker. So maybe it would make sense for Big Brother to venture into TikTok creators. And it's funny how her TikTok account has gone radio silent since the 14th of March, and there has been a lot of rumours about it on TikTok.
Okay.
That's the only... It's my punt. I'm not confident with it, but I thought I would take a punt on someone.
That's fair enough.
Someone a bit different.
Yeah, I respect it. I think we've discussed all the ones on Eloise's. I think we've now discussed all the ones on Dizzy's. I will quickly go with my two that are different. These are both people that I have seen in rumoured lists.
I hadn't seen them.
First one is Vito
Me neither.
Coppola, very popular Strictly dancer, seemingly thinking that after Nikita being mostly pretty popular last time, they'd go for Vito, who is like one of his good friends. And I do think it has often happened that when celebrity formats have found like a well to dip in, they do keep going back to that well. So I found that believable. And then probably the biggest punt, and I did say punt just to be clear, is Rebecca Vardy.
Took a second.
Yeah. I just feel like she probably needs the money, and I have seen her mentioned, and you know, I feel like it's probably more likely that she'd do Big Brother now because Colleen did I'm a Celebrity, and so I was like, I'm not convinced that it necessarily happens, but it does. I was looking through the ones like you mentioned, Eloise, the sort of people who are like there more because I think they'd be hoping for some sort of salacious drama, and I didn't want to put the ones in like you that were because people had affairs.
Like Annie Kilner was one of them.
Annie Kilner and
divorced from Carl Walker,
Georgia
and then
Jones.
there's that one. Those were the two that I was like, I don't want in my list.
And to be fair, I don't think either of them will be in. I think one of them appears to have moved on, and one of them appears to be dealing with it, and so I can't see either of them. But you know, if I'm honest, I think both of them would lose some sympathy if they did go in because it looks like a cash grab. But you know, we'll see. Anyway, that is our predictions for who's going in. They are very similar, but there is enough difference that it you know, there could be some all-important points standing changes as a result of them. And now we will move on to our miscellaneous. Okay, right, we've got the other hole in the screen sheet up, and we're now going to go through our predictions for basically what's going to happen. Now, this is even more of a risk, given that we don't actually know that everybody we're predicting is even going in. You know, like, somebody could break their leg tomorrow who was a dead cert, not go in and ruin all of our predictions, but that's part of the Bad Psychics fun. So we're going to start with our winner predictions, and we have... Okay, interesting. We've got two Danny Beards, and I've gone Jack P. Shepherd. So I'll start then. My logic here is that Big Brother is on ITV. I suspect there will be a big overlap between, you know, viewers of Celebrity Big Brother and viewers of Corrie. I think that's probably the main reason that Coulson managed to make it to the final last time, because, let's be honest, he was pretty boring. And from bits I've seen, I think Jack P. Shepherd seems at least a bit more interesting and entertaining. And I think, similar to how David Potts last time was a product from the ITV well, I'm going for a similar logic, that I think it will be somebody with ITV links that will do well. Dizzy, you've gone Danny Beard. you said to me, without saying a name, that you were very confident when we spoke the other day. Why are you so confident?
I wouldn't say I'm very confident. I just kind of, when I was seeing the rumours, that was who I thought would win. And I think because he's appeared so much on Late and Live, he's so recognised by the Big Brother viewers by this point, and obviously quite popular in Late and Live because he's appeared in it quite a lot. And I think he could be a similar housemate to David Potts and become very popular as it goes on.
Okay, interesting. So I'm assuming on the basis of appearing on Late and Live a lot, if Jordan Stevens ends up in the house making a late appearance, I'm assuming you'll be expecting him to win? Excellent.
They're different characters, eh?
Very much so.
Eloise, anything to add for why you've chosen Danny Beard?
I mean, I think most of what I had to said has been said already, but yeah, just big personality, very likable, very similar to David Potts, like in like a very generic way. Obviously, they're very different people, but I just feel like, yeah, it makes the most logical sense. Like, I mean, it might also be manifesting and hoping that, because I think Danny Beard would be a great winner, but yeah, it's very much I still feel like it's very much a punt. Like, I'm not the most confident about it, but yeah, it made the most sense to me.
Okay, right. We'll move on to other finalists, and we have. Okay, interesting. So I've taken a pretty big punt, given that I have gone for people that I'm not even 100% convinced are going in, but I think if they do go in, they'll do well. Vito seems to be loved on everything he ever does, including by me, big Vito fan. Patsy Palmer, I just always think she seems like both down to earth and funny when I, see her on things as herself. And Paul Chuckle. If Paul Chuckle is in there, who's going to nominate Paul Chuckle? Nobody. even if he doesn't, win with the public, he's just going to go unnominated. I don't actually believe that, but I do think he would probably be popular with the public more than with people in the house, because older people don't tend to necessarily do great. But I think the public has enough love for Paul Chuckle that if he does go in, he'll do great. So, right, you two have agreed on Patsy Palmer and Jack P. Shepherd, so I'll get one of you to talk about each of them. Dizzy, you've agreed with me as well that Patsy would do well. Any particular reason?
I mean, she has enough of a fan base before she even goes in that, EastEnders viewers will see that she's gone in and think, well, I'll tune into that, even if they don't watch Big Brother usually.
Okay.
And Bianca's such a popular character as well. So I think, I'm not sure if she'd win it, and I also don't think she would do anything in the house to ruin her reputation either. So, but I don't think she'd quite have enough to win it.
Okay. You've also both gone for my winner pick, Jack P. Shepherd. Eloise, why have you gone for Jack?
I mean, I'm not a soap head, as you've been saying, but I am sort of aware who he is. But like, I soap stars seem to do quite well as they're recognizable, and if they're sort of likable, they can go far. Which, like, I mean, Colston did it last year, so I feel like it would be a similar mold to that, where he's likable, recognizable, and won't rub too many people the wrong way. So we'll do generally okay, get to the final 6, and we'll be like high enough that would be final 4. But yeah, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I should say for viewers' benefits that with the other finalists, we don't know exactly how many finalists there are going to be. It was just we felt that 4 was probably the absolute minimum that would be there on the final night. If there's 6 of them, it still counts if any of ours finish 6th and 5th. They just have to be there on the final night. Okay, Dizzy, you've said that you think that Tommy Fury will make the final. That feels to go somewhat against some of your other feelings.
I don't know why I've put that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were like going for like the Louis Walsh effect where nobody likes
Maybe.
him, but just
Maybe there's a part of me that thinks he could be such a different character, I'll put it, that people want to keep him in.
Okay, fair enough.
People will vote for him. There will be people who will vote for him. Like,
Yeah,
Like, I think he could well get nominated throughout, but I don't think he would go out quickly.
here's the thing. I don't like Louis Walsh, but at least his antics were objectively funny. I just don't see Tommy Fury being that funny, but we'll see. Eloise, you've gone for another misspelt Angelica Bell.
yeah, completely different person. Yeah.
Any particular reason?
Just seems likable and recognizable, and also I think my main thing going into this, like predicting the final 4, was maybe not pick the ones that might do the best, but also pick the ones that I'm almost certain will be in.
Okay.
So I've got a better chance than picking, like, honestly, if Vito was in, he'd probably win the whole thing. But I didn't see that rumor, and if I did, I don't think I would have put it in because it's like a not as widely shown. So it was more so pick the ones that I'm like sort of certain will be on and hope that it pays off.
That's fair. You know, I had to go for a couple of rogue ones. You know,
Yeah, that's fair.
There's already been, you know, one resolved Bad Psychics podcast that, you know, I beat you in, just to remind you. So you know,
Thank you.
I thought I'd take this one a little less seriously.
It was because I decided to not like I pretty much predicted everything perfect, but decided, oh, just for the fun of it, I'll predict the two actresses from Wicked, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. I predict them for the women's the actress awards for some reason, even though I knew they weren't going to win. It was just for fun, and that lost me the episode. So.
And for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Yes, so I definitely took this a lot serious. Yes, seriouser. Yes.
Serious.
More serious.
Seriouser now becoming a potential candidate for the episode title.
Great.
Right, next we move on to day 1 mission. So, usually with celebrity seasons, somebody or somebodies, gets given a secret mission, and we're trying to predict who will get it. So let's find out who we've gone for. Interesting. Okay. Eloise, you've gone for Tommy Fury. Why?
I'm trying to think I'm trying to think of the logic I had behind it. I think the logic I had was it'd be funny in it, like because I don't think he'll do a good job, so it'd just be funny.
Okay.
Not 100% sure on that one, but yes, him being an idiot is probably decent TV. So
There.
that's all I had.
Yeah. Dizzy, you've gone for Patsy Palmer on her own. Any
Yeah.
rationale?
I had a bit of difficulty with this one. I was kind of tossing between a few people. I actually changed this one. I originally had Danny Beard on his own, and then I changed my mind. I was trying to think. They're obviously going to try and give it to someone that's going to be the most entertaining with it. And Patsy being what you would regard as a bigger name. They could give her a more fun mission. That was kind of what I was thinking. But I also was thinking exactly what you've put. Maybe the two soap stars.
That was exactly my logic, and I thought I'm more confident that Jack goes in. Plus he's ITV, so I'm more confident they'd use him. I will say, because I'm slightly bending the rules of engagement by putting to two names. So I've decided, and I'm saying this in advance so that I think if my prediction is Jack, but because I've put an additional one, if only Jack gets it, then I'm gonna knock a couple of points off myself. But if it is Jack and Patsy, I want a couple of extra points for being bang on. That was like my negotiation, is that I think there is a chance that is exactly right. But I'm willing to sacrifice points.
So, how many points are we talking?
I think I said 5 points for anyone who gets it. So if it's just Jack,
Yes.
I'll take 3. And if it's Jack and Patsy, I'll
7?
take 7. Whereas if yours are involved, then you just get straight 5.
See, last time I agreed, oh yes, let's give you extra points, and that won you the episode. So I'm very...
This is being agreed in advance, though, and also I stayed out of the negotiation for that entirely. I let you and Cass decide.
I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that bit me in the ass. So I think it's fair because I don't think they'll both do it, but
Okay.
yeah, it's okay with me.
Okay, good. Right. Next up is first boot. So, self-explanatory enough. This is who do we think will go first? Interesting. Okay, once again, you two in agreement. I have not. I've gone for Ella Morgan. I think that she is the sort of character who will likely be divisive in the house and will probably find herself getting nominated early on. I also think it is a troubling but I think unfortunately accurate indictment of the voting public that I'm not necessarily sure how well they will allow a trans woman to do. Obviously this is not something I agree with, but I think I also not sure that she's like the best possible example if you're trying to cover that demographic. She was, a little bit toxic on Married at First Sight at times, and I have a feeling that unless somebody is really truly awful and obnoxious, which there is a possibility with your prediction, I think the first time she goes up, she will likely go. And yes, that is unfortunately, as I say, a sad indictment on the voting public, but I will contentedly be proven wrong on all levels. Meanwhile, you two have gone for Michael Fabricant. Eloise, you're convinced that the I'm a Celebrity effect will not happen here, that he won't be kept around just to force him to wear stupid outfits, pull a George Galloway, drink milk from somebody else's hand while dressed as a cat, and end up never being able to be taken seriously again.
I mean, that would be something, but I don't know if I want to see it. I mean, I don't want him on the season, but I'd really hope that people would vote him out immediately. Like people wouldn't vote for him and he'd be first boot, but it does scare me with the Louis Walsh effect and like I'm a Celeb's history of politicians doing quite well, but I think Big Brother's a little bit more harsh for people who are a bit more divisive. So fingers crossed he's first boot, but I have no clue, to be honest.
Yes. The one reason I will be excited if he does go in the house is that we'll finally find out if that's a wig.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to stay on his head 24/7 if it's not if it's a wig. So Dizzy, anything to add on Fabricant?
Yeah, I just think if he's got in the house, he'll get nominated immediately.
Okay.
And then he'll go. But if he ends up not in the house, I would probably agree with you about Ella Morgan.
Fair enough. Next, we move on to most nominated, and we got 3 different answers this time. We'll go left to right then. I said Paul Chuckle. My logic is that usually older people in Big Brother tend to get more nominations because they tend to be like how do I put it? If they're going to bed earlier or they want the noise to get down a bit, then it tends to end up with younger people going, they're boring, and getting nominations. We've seen that before many times, and I felt like that meant I had to either go for Paul Chuckle or Daley Thompson because they were the two that I thought might make it further, and I think that Paul Chuckle can go further with the public than Daley Thompson. So that's my logic. Eloise seems to want to chime in, so...
Didn't you say that your justification for Paul Chuckle to be in the final 4 was he won't get nominated, and then you put him in?
No. I
didn't you said that?
I did say the words who could nominate Paul Chuckle, but I did clarify.
Yeah, so that was your
I did clarify that bit was joking, and that it was actually that I thought the public loved Paul Chuckle enough that they would keep him in. I did say that.
Okay, I'm not. I still not sure if I see the logic, but yeah.
My logic is sound. Anyway, while you're talking, why do you think Tommy Fury might get lots of nominations?
It'd be funny. That's generally my opinion. It'd be funny. I think he'll get on everyone's nerves, but then there will be like a voting, like enough people who'd vote him and save him. I reckon it'll. So I don't think he's. I don't think he's gonna go far, but it'll be like a thing where the first few nominations he'll be like always nominated, and then he'll go. That's how I think it is. But yeah, he'll just be annoying enough to be nominated.
Dizzy appears very distracted, and so I'm guessing that just off camera a cat has appeared.
There's a little tail.
There's
I
a tail.
don't think it's visible on the thing, but you could see a tail in the bigger camera.
Yes, hang on. Let me. Oh no, I can't. No, can't see.
Oh no,
hello.
the tail's gone. Oh, it's a head.
Oh, it's a Maisie.
No.
Hello, Maisie. So that's we've seen Chloe Cat, we've seen Maisie Cat. Now we just need to see Monty Cat for a full quota of cats. Unfortunately for you, public, you can't see, but I can confirm Maisie Cat has appeared.
There is a tail that occasionally pops up.
Yes. Right then.
Oh no.
Oh dear. What's that?
Cat attack.
Oh.
I think something was unplugged there.
Right.
I mean, look. It's at least it's not.
I did say it.
Yes.
I did say it would happen.
I'm on the plus side. At least we haven't had the same as Cass's cat, who decided to bare its asshole to the camera, or one of Cass's youngest child shitting himself halfway through the episode. Anyway, if you've dealt with cat problems, talk to me about why. Oh, all okay?
Fine. It's fine.
Talk to me about why you think Daley Thompson will be most nominated.
It was pretty similar logic to you with Paul Chuckle, and I've obviously not put Paul Chuckle in my list. So I've ended up with Daley Thompson on my list, but I was kind of. Again, I was between two. I was between him or Ella Morgan.
Okay.
I was kind of tossing and turning about it.
But
I thought Daley Thompson's more likely to stay longer.
I'm inclined to agree with that logic. Right. Next, we've got the one that's going to be the biggest pain in the arse for me, because I'm going to have to try and keep an active count. This is the Diary Room King or Queen. You get points for every so many diary room instances. And okay, this is really boring. We've all gone for the same thing. I
will caveat. I started off by saying Patsy Palmer, but I changed my mind.
Okay, fair. Well, that can be your input on the subject. Eloise, anything?
I mean, it seems very, very obvious if Danny Beard's going to be in it. Danny Beard will be shown a lot because Danny Beard's very interesting and funny. So, yeah, makes logical sense. And it's a very, very interesting round where it's just either we all get points or we all don't get points. So these are always thrilling.
I mean, in fairness, it actually makes my life easier because I can just lie and make up a number and it doesn't really matter. We're all scoring the same anyway.
Yeah.
I will say the one little doubt I had in my head was kind of for similar reasons as my thoughts on the voting public with Ella. I don't know how drag queen will be perceived by. I mean, the best way I can put it is by mums on Facebook, because from what we've established over the 3 seasons since it's been back, the voting public for Big Brother seems to like be split in half, and one half is mums on Facebook and the other half is queers on Twitter, and it seems to be a battle between the two for the most part, and I don't know who'll win on that one, because both have had their moments of claiming victory over the other, so I'll be interested to see how that goes. Next we've got Blast from the Past. So this is there's nearly always an appearance from somebody from a previous season who goes in and does something. So these are our predictions for who we will see from a past season. What? Have I missed something? Have I?
I did not expect someone else to put that.
Is there some... Because, Eloise, you said you were taking this seriously. Have you seen some sort of rumour about Jedward, or did you just not know what to put and make something up?
So, I've only ever watched... I'll be honest, I've only ever watched one season of Celebrity Big Brother, and that was last season. So, I wasn't that sure on who would be, like, returning. So I decided to look through past people in it and decided who would be the funniest. And Jedward would be the funniest, in my opinion. And it also would make sense because of last season, with what Louis was saying and stuff.
Ah, interesting.
So it'd be funny if they bring on Jedward because of what Louis was doing last season. I think that's the most logical. Like, honestly, without me knowing much, I think that seems a logical pick, and also it'd be very fun to see Jedward.
Okay.
Like, they'll do anything for a little bit of money. Like,
oh,
they'll happily come back on. You know,
absolutely. They showed up on Michael McIntyre's big show or whatever it was called recently, which was odd. Dizzy, you don't have the excuse of only having watched one Celebrity Big Brother season, as you've seen pretty much all of them. Why have you gone for Jedward?
Well, I'll be honest. Firstly, to comment on yours, I didn't know if I could put civilian housemates. Otherwise, I would have probably put Lily.
Okay.
But ignoring that, rewinding back to last season, Jedward spoke a lot on Twitter during that season.
Just to cut in very quickly, Dizzy, you are beginning to lean off camera a little bit, and we're losing you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. Now, please continue.
Sorry.
All good.
Yeah, they spoke a lot during last season, obviously, with what Louis was saying, and I think it'd be very funny if they went in some aspect and managed to have their say. However that could work. And yeah, I just think it would be very, very funny, because they'd have free reign to do it.
I don't disagree that it would be funny. I just don't see it. I think it would be more likely to end up happening on a late and live. Like, they get on, they're there to discuss the episode, but they just derail it by going on about Louis Walsh. That, to me, feels more likely. Also, you could have known that you could choose civilian, because this was the only answer of mine that I actually told you I was putting in advance. I
obviously wasn't listening.
I mean, you acknowledged my theory as being plausible.
Oh well.
I've gone for Lily from last regular season of Big Brother. Here's my theory. One, Lily was very popular with a lot of people, and so at the very least, I think she'll be back on like Late and Live and stuff like that. But here is my thinking. Most of the time, they do some kind of eating task, especially with the celebrity seasons. Something where they have to eat disgusting foods. Lily, known for working in a Chinese and eating basically everything in sight. Therefore, I have this theory that Big Brother will concoct like the takeaway from hell themed task, and they will get Lily in there to be like the host of it, or the kind of food server for that particular comp. That is my theory, because I wanted. The only other thing I considered was that I think the most likely one from last season of Celebrity was David Potts, but David Potts already made an appearance in the civilian one dressed as a giant flower pot. So I decided not to go for him. I've gone for Lily. Right, next we've got quits / ejections. This is just, will anybody walk, or will there be an ejection? If either of them happens, it's points if you say yes. Doesn't matter what it is. Banded them together just because convenience in it. And Dizzy and Eloise have said no. I've said yes. Partially because I assumed other people would say no, and I think it's plausible enough that I wanted to try and score some points. I think if he does go in, I can genuinely see Tommy Fury getting booted for like threatening to punch someone in the head or something like that.
Good.
But like I do think there's enough potentially histrionic people going in there that I can see one of them quitting as well. So, Dizzy, you've said none. Was it a consideration in your mind?
A little, but I don't know. It kind of. I always feel it's more likely in the civilian version.
That's interesting.
So.
I tend to think it's less likely, just because I think with the civilian version, I feel like they know what they're signing up to. You're signing up for Big Brother because you want to be on Big Brother, whereas I think with the celebrity ones, it's more like, I've been offered to do this thing and they're paying me and I don't really know what I'm getting myself into.
I think I would agree, but I think there's not even like... Nobody in the list is like an American reality star or anything like that, where they don't know what Big Brother is like until they literally go in there, and that's often the people who are the most highly strung.
That was a polite way of putting it.
Yeah. Since there's nobody really been rumoured in that sense, that's kind of why I think everyone on the list, I feel like should at least, other than Michael Fabricant, but I think if he's in there, he's going to get evicted quickly anyway. Everyone else in the list, I feel like, should have an idea.
That's fair. Eloise, you've also said no. Any doubt there?
I feel like it'd be more of a risk if I said yes. Like, I'm trying to play this more logically and not make blind decisions which probably won't pay off as much. So it just feels more likely that there won't be anyone who will drop out. Now, getting evicted is hard to predict. And yeah, I think Tommy Fury might be one of the more likely ones to get evicted, but No, I don't think it'll happen.
Okay. Next, you've got latecomers. So, will anybody join the house after night one? We've all said no. Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like, that seems logical. There haven't been any latecomers gone in any of the ITV shows so far. It seems unlikely that they'd do it now. Dizzy, is your thinking similar?
Yeah, because it's just such a short space of time, and unless they've got someone in similar to Sharon, where it's a shorter deal, and maybe they go in slightly later, but I'd be surprised.
Okay. Eloise, is this just you playing the odds again?
Yeah, it that isn't a thing that has happened for a long time, so no, I don't think it'll happen.
Okay. Next we've got backdoor. So this is will there be somebody who will be evicted without the audience this season? And we've all gone yes. Okay, so this is another one that I think again playing the odds. It seems likely. There's been a backdoor eviction in all three of the ITV seasons so far. I'm trying to think who went in each of them. The first one was Matty. Was Tom and Jenkin also backdoor? Yes? Okay. And then we had Bradley in the last celebrity one, and we had oh, why am I drawing a blank? Who did we have in the last civilian one?
I've completely forgot.
Baked potato. Baked potato didn't get one. There we go. Took me a while there. Eloise, are you thinking that they'll just carry on with their pattern so far?
Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't, because they seem to like the backdoor evictions, so
Okay.
they'll keep it.
Dizzy, I guess I'll ask you a different question. Do we, we've gone for certain things as being popular. Do we want to see some latecomers in an ideal world, and do we want to see them deviate from their early patterns more, or do you feel like they're good patterns and so carry them on?
I wouldn't mind a latecomer. It would depend who it is. Like, it would need to be like a big name. Someone that's going to, cause shockwaves when they arrive. However many days in that could... I mean, it could literally just be 3 days in.
Yes.
Not still a latecomer. As for the back door, I mean, I don't mind them so much for the celebrity version. I'm not as keen on them on the civilian version. Because it is a bit rubbish that they've been in for so long and then they go out the back door.
Yeah, I tend to agree. If I ever went on, I would rather be booed out the front door than just be sent out the back door to nothing. That it's just boring. You don't agree, Eloise?
It depends on the circumstance. Like, a couple of them have been good, just in how they did it. But at the same time, they leave and they don't get anything from a crowd, and then they appear in Late and Live the day after. It's a bit rubbish. Eloise,
are you saying you'd rather go by the back door?
I mean, if there's burning question, yes. If it's if it's a villain, and if I've been a villain and I have the option of the back door, then yeah, that sounds much more favorable than getting booed by an audience. I don't know. I mean, I think people probably deserve to go with an audience, like to go out and you got the whole fanfare and stuff. But I don't. I don't know. It just depends. If someone's really likable, then yes, it's a shame they went out the back door. But then again, I don't know.
So
Personally, I wouldn't want to go out in front of the crowd, but
yeah.
probably is a bad thing, the back doors, but they seem to like doing them.
So what I'm hearing is that not only would you be a villain, you'd be a cowardly villain because you couldn't at least own it when going out the front door. You big wuss.
I don't see an issue with being a cowardly villain.
Anyway, let's move on to the always most chaotic part of every episode, which is the bonus, where we have to try and decide how to score various people's predictions. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. That's still not what... Oh, God. Right. Oh, there we go. Right. So let's have a look at what we've gone with. What? Oh my god, it's all going horribly wrong. I don't like doing these. Right, let's have a look. So, let's start with Eloise's. Eloise, you've gone for the final 6 will have more people under 35 than over. I want to be clear before I start thinking about how to score this. You're sticking with more, and if it's 3 and 3, that's a...
Yeah, that is the problem.
I'm just making...
I picked an even number for a more or less question.
I mean, it's not a problem if you're saying that an even split means you lose because it's not what you've predicted. I'll factor that into the offer I will make for how many points it's worth.
Yeah, it would give it more points if I kept it like 6, but if I made it 5, then it'd probably be less points.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I noticed that you had like the rumored cast was all mostly like over 35, and I just found that interesting, and I thought a lot of the people that I'm thinking will be eliminated are the older ones. So I have a feeling that it could lie just being, but then I realise in my top 4 I've got all people apart from Danny Beard who are over 35. So I think I've shot myself in the foot here. So
I mean, look.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to change it. I'm just going to go out my sword here. But yeah,
Okay.
I need to get better at doing these bonus questions. I'm not very good at them. So yeah.
Yeah,
I need to think of these answers, these a bit more in advance, because I'm very bad at thinking of them.
Okay, so my reasoning, and Dizzy, you're free to interject. My reasoning is that I think just the sheer number of over 35s that I think will be in, to have at least 4 under 35s make the final 6, I think is a pretty long shot. I don't think it's completely impossible, and therefore, I mean, so the last episode, which these two won't have seen yet because as we're recording it hasn't been uploaded yet. we trialled something for the bonus round, which was giving two separate offers. One that was like a high risk offer and one that was a low risk offer. I feel like as a low risk offer, I'd offer something like 5 points up, 3 points down. As a higher risk option, I think I'd offer like 9 points up, 8 points down. Dizzy, do you have any input on that? Do you agree that it seems fairly unlikely?
Yeah. Just judging by the people rumoured who are over 35 that are going in, some of them I expect to do very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be floored if only 2 of them made the final 6.
I'm inclined to agree. Do you concur with the values of my offer to Eloise? Are you content with me offering that?
I think so.
Okay. So yes, Eloise, if you'd like to not risk losing too much, you can go 5 up and 3 down. If you would like a chance to get more points but with more risk built in, I'm going to say 9 up and 8 down. Which would you like?
I'm very much like contemplating being like, oh, I can have it as at least 3 people, but then because that's slightly more logical. But then,
I mean, that would obviously reduce
the points.
Yeah, of both parts. So
I'll take the low risk because I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, then still 5 points.
okay, we're going 5 up and 3 down. Dizzy, you have gone. We will have 2 double evictions on the week prior to the final. So my understanding of this is, I believe they're in the house for 3 weeks, and you're saying that in week 2, so from no?
I mean, like within the last 7 days of them being in the house.
Okay.
Before the final, there's going to be 2 double evictions.
Okay, so we're saying between day 14 and 20, is that what we're saying? Okay, 2 double evictions between day 14 and 20. I definitely think 1 is probable. I even considered using that as a bonus myself. 2 I would say is more likely than Eloise is, but not hugely so. Eloise, do you have any thoughts?
So I'm just thinking, last season there was a double elimination day 12 and then a double elimination day 16.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems almost like that could happen.
Yes, but Dizzy's specifically saying between day 14 and day 20. So one of those
they
wouldn't.
They could easily push it close if they want to, especially if there's going to be like some kind of twist of like, someone in there for if they're going to do a late comer, then definitely. But I don't know. I think because there was one on day 12 last time, we're kind of off at 14. I think it's logical they could easily do it in the last week.
Yes, I don't disagree. To me, as I said, I think this is slightly more likely than yours, but not like mega likely.
Less points.
Yeah, I feel like I would do 4 up, 2 down, or 7 up, 7 down.
Uh, yeah, I suppose so.
Okay. Dizzy. 4 up to 2 down is your safer option, or 7 up, 7 down if you're feeling more confident. What?
Thirsty.
Yes.
If you're feeling thirsty, 7 up.
I hate it here. Um, Dizzy, what would you like to go with?
I'm going to go the higher offer.
We're going the higher offer. Okay, 7 up, 7 down on the 2 double evictions. Finally, mine is I think there will be 5 or more pre-ITV era Big Brother or Celebrity Big Brother people on Leighton Live. So basically anyone who appeared on Big Brother or Celebrity Big Brother on either Channel 4 or Channel 5, I think at least 5 will make it onto Leighton Live. I will let you have a discussion and a negotiation for what you think that's worth.
I don't think it's very likely.
I have
Personally.
no clue, so judgment's on you, I think, because I have no clue how likely that is. I assume not very. So
I don't think it's very likely.
that's
Unless
my
they
point.
change their stance suddenly.
That makes sense.
Like there's certain people that, like, obviously I would assume that if Kate Lawler yet again is on, obviously she counts because she is a pre-ITV era housemate, but there isn't many others that get on at all. And it has been like they've been trying to do everything they possibly can to ignore that Big Brother was a show before it was on ITV. So
Sounds about right.
I would be surprised.
So, to put clarification in, does higher risk, like so if something's less likely to happen, therefore more points, but does that mean more negative points too?
Yes, I would say roughly. It's up to you, because there is a degree of how much you want to bait somebody into taking a higher offer as well, which is why it's not an exact science. But I would say the higher offer, you are looking at roughly a 1-to-1 up and down ratio, whereas with the lower offer, you're looking at more of like a 2-to-1. So, if lower is 4, then it would be like 4-to-2. But if higher is 4, it would be more likely to be 4-to-4.
Okay. Because I think lower offer, I'm struggling to see anything but like a 6 or a 7. And then minus 3 or 4. What do you think?
I honestly kind of view it as this is just as likely to happen as the final 6 to have over 35, over 35. So that's honestly my stance on it.
5 or 6 then. And then minus. So would you
Minus
be
3.
happy with 5 or 6? Up.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
5.
5. And then so exact same as my offer. 5 ups, 3 down.
Yeah.
And what was my higher offer? Like 9 up, 8 down.
That is what your offer was, yes.
But I think I would make it 8 up, 7 down.
Okay. That's, I yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay,
So yeah, those are the offers.
interesting. S- I'm trying to think about this one because I have started considering what I would offer myself. You know, if somebody else came up with, you know, what would I offer? I think at 8 up, 7 down, I think I will take the higher. I would have liked a little bit more. I think I kind of was agreeing when Eloise said to match hers. I think mine's about as likely as Eloise's. But I will accept 8 up, 7 down, and that concludes our predictions for this episode. So obviously, I'm hoping that this episode will be have reached your ears, everybody, on Friday the 4th of April. Is that right? Friday the 4th? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Friday the 4th. And, you know, you will be able to watch it in the days before. We will have another episode probably in about 4 weeks' time to discuss what we got right, where we went wrong. Dizzy, thanks for joining us for the first time. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yes. Hopefully we'll see you back soon. Eloise, pleasure as always. We'll see if you can avenge your clearly earned defeat in the Oscars competition.
No. Still slightly salty about it, but yeah, I'm not as confident in this. That I'd be surprised if I'm not last in this. So,
Okay.
not happening in this episode. I'm afraid.
Alright, well, we'll see. We will be back soon with some more episodes covering differing topics from across sport and entertainment. However, until we see you again, remember to always be big mystics, not big mistakes. Bye for now.
Bye.